Hey guys, Tommy G, Middle-Aged Millennial, and I'm coming to you from the other side of the planet, off the Gold Coast, and actually I'm in the US. They let me back in, would you believe? So, yes, Elise, I am on your side of the planet for once, and I'm in beautiful Mountain View, Silicon Valley. And we've got Dr. Peter Rouse coming into the house. We're just going to let him in because he's been patiently waiting while I wait, as tends to be the case in my life. And here he comes. Oh my God, what happened to you, Peter? Oh, just lying there, comfortable.
Yeah, she's a
Werewolf Peter Rouse.
hybrid.
The alter ego. There he is. Yeah. G'day, mate. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm just
Yep.
going to mount you somewhere here. Let's see. Whoops.
Careful how you
Whoa.
say that.
Too
Give
funny.
people a funny idea.
Yeah, well, this is true. Yeah, the cat will be out of the bag, so to speak.
Literally.
No. Yeah, literally. There's another one. Okay, I think I've found somewhere to put this thing with the tripod. And there we go. This could work. All right. We're good. We've got a nice little bit of tree in the background. So, Pete, I'm over the other side of the planet for once.
I'm still
Lisa,
in New Zealand.
you're still in New Zealand. It's a good place to
Mm-hmm.
be. It's a good place to be. No argument there. And I'm here in sunny Mountain View and here in Silicon Valley, lining up to visit some digital health companies while I'm here. One of them being, I'm meeting with one of the people in our exec.reset community, Dave Kozunski, who is the CEO and founder of Heads Up Health, which we use to aggregate all the data we collect off of the people that are on our programs, specifically the execs that we have at the moment running in the exec.reset program. So, mate, EMF. Electromagnetic, what's the F stand for?
Well, frequency, but we're talking about particularly the radiation.
It comes from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know we're gonna do a sprinting 30 minutes, if that, depending on your timeline. But very important topic with 5G being launched, and I was sort of reading through this paper here
Mm-hmm.
as well, right? And just some of the effects, Pete. You'll obviously be able to fill us in some more, especially on the effects to the human body physiologically. But I'm reading this. It doesn't look good.
No. Well, the 5G is only kind of the latest thing, and it's probably they're slowly progressing worse and worse. Sorry about that. They're slowly progressing worse and worse, to the level of radiation exposure. The research on it for safety hasn't been done since the 90s. And even back then, I believe it was a single device measurement that they were using. So you look at the amount of radiation or the frequencies and everything that we've been exposed to, that it's 10, 20, 50,000 times more than what it was back in the 90s, especially now with
Right.
Wi-Fi. We didn't have Wi-Fi then. So
Right.
I was just using this meter here to look at my router.
I've got one
And
of those. Go
yeah,
on. And
I was testing it. It went up to, what was it, 400 and about 460, what we call microgauss, which is a measurement they use for measuring, the amount of radiation being put out. Yeah, so it shouldn't be above
So is that
one.
electro or is that magnetic or is it
Well,
kind of both?
electromagnetic,
Because it's like,
electromagnetic.
right,
But it's so
right.
it shouldn't be above one, and I was setting 400 on that device when I was put it next to it. So you can see there's well, yeah, the studies that have been done haven't actually tested for the for on
Radiation
humans. Yeah, they
on
haven't done
humans.
humans. They've not done humans, biological. So all the studies again are done by industry that have been done. So there's no independent studies,
Right.
and human studies have been done on the the effects of RF particularly RF and ELF. ELF being extreme low frequency, which is a big problem these days.
Well, I mean, and they're saying it's the new smoking. Sitting down was the new smoking. They're calling this the new smoking because, of course, industry is going to back up against it, right? As is part of the government. Some data here is like the 2G in '96. What was it? 17,000 antennas across the USA. 3G, 2006. 10 years later, 195,000 antennas across the USA. 4G in 2016, 210,000 antennas. Listen to this. 5G, 2019 and beyond, right? By 2025, not long away, 13 million antennas.
Well, that's because of the power output. They have to put them so close together. You're talking half blocks apart for the antennas, so they're going to put so many. That's why I'm kind of glad where I am. I mean, they can't get an antenna that close to me anyway, so I'm not going to get 5G here. So, but everybody living in the cities, which you notice that's part of the agenda, is pushing everybody into the cities as well. So you see the overpopulation of cities, depopulation of the more outer areas, and then they're going to just radiate with all these different devices. So that goes through the roof. And what was on the news this week about the suicide rate, right?
Right.
Okay, now look at the effect of this radiation on a child's brain compared to adult brain. The damage can be twice as much or more. And on top of that, these kids use their phone twice as much, probably in many cases 20 times much as an adult as well. So imagine the damage being, imagine the damage being, well, not my daughter, but imagine, my other daughter, yes, probably.
Yeah, right,
But the damage being caused by that to kids, maybe that's a factor, because one of the side effects or the symptoms of this is that depression or mental issues that you can have from that. Sleep disorders. Sleep disorder. You have poor sleep. That's going to play an impact on your mindset as well.
Right.
So all the and of course all this radiation affects you on a cellular level. So when you break it down to that cellular level, then you're gonna see, like, for example, every night your body's repairing itself on a cellular level. Yeah. And if you're leaving your devices on at nighttime, then you're going to get that exposure, and then that means you're going to decrease the amount of cellular repair, especially for the brain. And it's more so for children. So you got to be really careful around children. That's why I have a remote switch on mine, and I can turn it off and on as needed.
So, I mean, this is crazy, right? I mean, I'm reading through this and I'm going, holy shit, this is like, horror movie stuff. I mean, talking about the top 10 most common EMF-related symptoms, as you alluded to. Number 1, fatigue and weakness, sleep disturbance, insomnia, like you mentioned.
Well, it affects the melatonin pathway.
migraines.
So it affects your melatonin pathway directly.
Right. That's not cool when you're trying to sleep. No. Brain fog, difficulty in concentrating.
ADD, ADHD in schools. How's that going up these days?
Depression. Right. All right. Depression, anxiety, memory loss, visual disruptions, light sensitivity, skin problems, heart palpitations, dizziness. Now, these can be related to other issues too, right, that we've got happening, or because of gut health.
It could be, well, remember the EMF can affect your gut bacteria as well. It affects them on a cellular level too. But yeah, you can't say, okay, I've got some of these symptoms, I must be, have a issue with EMF, but it may be other stuff too. So there's a lot of symptoms that cross over. But if you're finding that you one way to test it is to eliminate EMF around, which is pretty much impossible these days, but also reducing it as much as possible. I never talk on my phone, like up here. I actually don't talk on my phone much anyway. And then if I do use the phone call, I actually usually I try to use my iPad to phone out. And my iPad, my phone's usually in another room. It's usually sitting out here in the kitchen, and then I'm in another room making a phone call on my iPad. So that reduces that exposure as well, because you're doing it through the Wi-Fi, which is, okay, yes, it's an exposure, but it's much less than your 4G, 3G network.
Through which device? Through your Wi-Fi?
Well, through my Wi-Fi. So I'm making a phone call through my iPad. It goes through my Wi-Fi to my phone. My phone's in an entirely other room, so I'm not being directly exposed to that higher level output. I just measured on here. Let's see what this is right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm only on Wi-Fi right now, right?
Yeah. So I got this new device as well to measure my EMF, and I'm working out like what the units mean, whatever. But yeah, take it up near the Wi-Fi router. It goes, the red light starts flashing. It goes a bit crazy. Take it near the zapper, the microwave.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
When it's on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You
Actually,
know,
it's quite good right now because I've actually got. I just remembered I've got my cellular turned off.
there it is. Yeah.
Hang on a minute. I'm on the wrong set anyway. I've got my cellular turned off at the moment, so I'm only on Wi-Fi. So I actually have the mobile part turned off, right?
Right.
So it's actually keeping it quite low on Wi-Fi from here, and I'm on headphones. So it's still, you can probably hear it beeping or not, but it's still going up to, just going up like between 8 and 11. It meant to be over 1. But if
Yeah.
you do a mobile phone call, it goes up to like 40 to 50. And then
Right.
if I go to my router, which I can actually show you at the same time, because I'm not doing my phone, but you should be able to see the meter maybe on here.
I think we've got here. Lisa's talking about sleeping in the Faraday cage, and like I know, like Dr. Joseph McCullough's getting right onto this at the moment.
Can you see that? There's 60, 80,
Yep. What do you got?
80, 90.
90.
Yeah, it's going up and down. It's because it depends on what's being transmitted at the time. So you got some big numbers there. Remember, anything over 1 is considered harmful.
Harmful. Right. What device have you got there, Pete?
It's just a standard EMF tester. It's a very standardized one. I used to have a better trimeter one as well, but I don't know. I've lost that somewhere in all my moving around the world. So,
Trimeter? So what's that measuring?
It can be used to measure all the different frequencies as well. So you can measure, this is more for radiation, like for your cellular net microwave and stuff like that. But then it doesn't pick up so much the very low ELF, it won't pick up. And it's good for generalized. So you can pick these up really cheap, $30 on probably Amazon or whatever.
Wish. I ordered mine on Wish.
Yeah, Wish.
Yeah, I got that from you.
Yeah. So Wish, I think, I actually may have got this one on Wish, but they're very cheap. Very cheap basic device if you want to use it.
So guys, go to wish.com, right?
Look up EMF
out of China.
tester.
EMF tester. You get one shipped to you. They cost nothing. They'd be like SFA, sweet fuck all, basically, Australian term. Not much at all. And check around your house. And what's a reasonable reading, Pete, that's tolerable? Because I'm all for tech, as you know, and I love tech and I love what it can do for quality of life, but not when it's destroying quality of life or screw quality of business in this case. Like, life comes first,
Yeah, so I kind of look at below 1 on that. So anything below 1, ideally kind of the 0.3 kind of mark is good. 0.23. Right now, if I turn it on right now again, and make sure you set it on the right setting, because UT is 1/10 of the reading. So if you have it on UT, which is Tesla units, it's millitesla, Tesla, which is a different unit. So on MG, it's right now 0, because I've got it held away from me. As soon as I bring it into something electrical, it's going up to 1.3, 1.4, 1.6, and that's not even something that's on. It's just something electrical. It's 2.2, 0.1. Like it's fairly low right now on something that's it's just electrical, but not on. I bring it close to the phone here, and remember, my phone's not even on cellular. I did a test on my phone with it. It's going up to 4, 5, 6 there. So I did my phone. Well, it's the actual cellular part.
You're not using it.
The cellular is actually turned off. I've turned it off. So with that, with that off, it's coming out pretty low. But if I turn that back on, and I'm on a call, it goes to the roof.
So so bearing in mind, I mean, your head's not up there all the time, right?
People do a lot of times. People do that. So but what's been exposed to it? Your hand. Your hand still your cells, isn't it?
So So you probably got a bit more thickness there. Nonetheless, it's
still
exposed.
Penetrates through that. Penetrates all through that.
No problem.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So calluses don't work. If you play a lot of guitar or do something else with your hands. Just thinking though, near your bed. Oh, what's this? What's that? Like a lead-lined package?
Basically, yeah, it's like a Faraday cage that we were saying before,
your
but it's
phone.
for your phone. So I stick my phone in there, and there's nothing coming out of that one.
That's cool. Did you get that from Wish as well?
I've had this for years. I don't know. You probably
They
can
must
find
have
you.
something.
You'll probably find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you search on? Like
Shield,
phone shield or
shielded,
EMF shield?
shielded pack bag or shielded. Yeah, I'll see if I can find
iPhone?
one and link it.
Yeah. All right, that'd be awesome. So just thinking though, where you're sleeping, like at least let's say 7, 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever. That's a big chunk of your life, and you're
Yep.
sleeping in the same place all the time. You'd want to be checking around there, wouldn't you? And then
Yeah.
switching stuff off and seeing what readings you get. Because if you've got like pipes, electrical stuff going through the wall, and you're near the wall, and it hasn't got any shielding around it as well, it's not
Yep.
going to be good.
Well, that's the thing with my new house I'm building is going to be all fiber optic in the walls for all the transmission. So it's going to be fiber optic. And then the Wi-Fi will be actually Li-Fi, which is using light emission for the transmission rather than radio frequency. Yeah.
Get out.
Yep.
Li-Fi. I don't even know what Li-Fi was.
Mm-hmm.
How do I not know that? Wow.
Yeah, so you don't get the exposure.
Huh. That sounds expensive.
No comment.
Okay, thing is,
So-
well, what's your life worth? It's,
Exactly.
Risk of getting, some cancer because of this.
So we're building the house with wiring. It's all going to be basically,
Clean.
all cleaning. And then you're going to do any electrical wiring through the house is going to be shielded. So
Right.
normally they put it in that PVC tubing for running electrical conduits through the house. They push the
Right.
wires through the PVC tube, but you actually get proper shielded special tubing that you can get for it, so you can put all the electrical cables through and it shields it all. And then
Yep.
some of you people want to check is the actual power sockets in the bedroom, particularly in the bedroom because that's where they're sleeping. But all of them should be checked. Someone's alarm's going off there.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, we'll just have to bear with me.
That's all right, I can hear. So
Okay.
the electrical sockets in the bedrooms is something you want to test too, because you get something called dirty electricity, where you get that leakage of the electricity coming out of those sockets. You can get filters that will plug in there. I've used them in the US, but mine are clean here, so I didn't need to get here. But you'll find it more in older houses.
Right.
So you can plug them in, and they will actually filter that dirty electricity out too. So that's a good idea to look at that.
Okay.
When you're at nighttime in your bed, you want to, you're nighttime in your bed, when you're in bed, make sure your phone's on at least airport mode.
Let's just check for drones. It's okay.
Yeah, it could be that too. They're going to we're talking 5G, they're coming after you.
Pete, are you playing with me?
Well, actually, funny enough, John C. Dvorak, you know who John C. Dvorak is? He used
No.
he used to write for PC Mag, PC World or something, PC Mag, one of the big magazines. Wrote for them for about 20 years. They dropped him after he did a negative article on 5G. After 20 years or something with them. He did a negative article like last year on 5G.
And then go. That's it.
Yep.
You're out.
Yep.
Gotta love industry.
Yeah, look up
Gotta love
John C.
industry.
Dvorak. John C.
Okay.
Dvorak. Yeah.
Poor guy. Right.
Well, no, he's fine. He's fine. Don't worry. He's
sure, he's made shitloads. Yeah. Oh well. What the heck?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I was going to stop anyway soon. So what the heck?
He can't be that bad off. He owns like
Best
4 or
thing
5
that ever
houses.
happened to me. Yeah. Best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, checking your phone at night time, make sure it's on airplane mode is kind of one way. You can turn it off completely.
Right.
But even completely, remember, it's not really off. So that's why I like this.
Right.
That kind of shields it. And if you use your phone for your alarm in the morning, you'll still hear it well through this. No problem. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that sounds like a great idea. And I think maybe you get. Go on.
No, I was going to say, when I'm traveling, I actually use a travel clock. Even at home, I used to use a travel clock to wake up for alarm. So I didn't have to use my phone at all. So I just use a travel alarm clock, a little battery powered one, so it's not reliant on power. No EMF out of that whatsoever. Yeah.
Gee, isn't it funny? I mean, the stuff that's killing us, what's killing me right now is that bloody alarm, is the stuff that...
Welcome to America.
Slowly... Yeah, we're in America. Yeah, wait till we hear the police sirens. So is the stuff that's slowly killing us, as we're chronic disease is having a field day because it's that compounding interest of just doing lots of little negative shit that just builds, and industries doing it and manage to get under the radar because it's like instant return for a long-term kind of like thing. If we talk about glyphosate and all these other things, right? And the other thing is, I'm looking at if like through your day, and if you got one of the meters that you bought off Wish, then maybe you just go and spend your day with it near you to see where you're getting exposed throughout the day to get your kind of dosage, for the day. I think that's a realization for everybody. So yeah. Damn it, there was something which is earth-shattering I was going to ask you, and now I've forgotten.
Must have been really important.
So important that my brain just went into shock and said, "Oh, it's too exciting." So, what can people do to start to shield their homes? They don't have a whole lot of money.
Okay, so you can buy the remote switches for your Wi-Fi, or just turn it off manually. Turn your Wi-Fi off at night. Turn your Wi-Fi off at night time.
At night. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, you're not using it, right?
Yeah, you're just going to reduce it.
Yeah.
Unless you download the movies overnight. But yeah, you you shouldn't be doing that anyway.
No,
but
it's lonely over here in the US. Go on.
Those porno sites are probably overworked. So
yeah, I run out of my space that I get the data roam with. Anyway.
So that's probably one of the big things is make sure everything is off at nighttime. LED lights aren't actually great, so using LED lighting in your house. There's new modern LED lighting that actually is better, but the general lighting they use in the market is not great. Fluorescent lighting, of course, in offices are terrible. So if you can replace them with other lighting options, there's again modern. They aren't fluorescent, but there's a new LED that's out. This one's on DC, not AC, by the way. That actually is not harmful. With the new old LED lights are not that great for you, especially for your eyes.
Yeah,
too,
blue light and stuff, right? Well, you need to get some of those True Darks or something that, what's his name, Mr. Bulletproof is manufacturing through his other company.
There's quite a few different ones out there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if there's a new LED out, which is DC, which doesn't get any pulsing as well, and that's... but again, at the moment it's expensive, so it's probably not an option for most people. Most people don't have LED lighting in their house anyway, I suspect. So if they do, go over to those screw-in light bulbs that are LED. Don't go for those. The replacement LED light bulbs.
Right, that lasts for like 1,000 years.
Yeah, don't use those. Well, if listen to light bulb has lasted for 100 years in the old traditional one, they actually made them to burn out because otherwise you aren't going to make a profit out of it. So there's one still going in a firehouse that's been there for like 100 years, still going. The same light.
My God!
I mean, it's
Edison original.
It's weaker now, but we won't talk about Edison. And his theft of technology.
Oh, jeez. A topic for another conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think turning off things you don't need. That's number one.
Right.
Don't use your phone in your hand. At least use the speakerphone. Don't hold it in your hand when you're on it. Put it on a table or something. That's kind of reducing it.
Even in the phone itself, you go into which they buried it deep in settings somewhere. Apple, the disclaimer on you've got to keep it 5 millimeters away from your body or something.
That's just based, and that wasn't even on human studies either, by the way.
Right. Okay. But they already knew. Yeah. Let's cover ourselves. Yes. Buy this phone, but don't use it.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, 5 millimeters is not that far. Basically, just say it's not press it against your head. But who does that? I mean, mind you, me, I don't use my phone like that. But
right.
Yeah. So hands free at minimum.
Right.
Minimize your use of Bluetooth headphones.
Yes. So Bluetooth, and they're coming out with a new level of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Like the 5G version of that. Soon to go and fry your brain while you've got them in there. Now, I use them from time to time. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lower power output. So if you use them time to time, which is fine. I do too. I do use them time to time, not all the time, but
not all the time.
No.
Yeah. Running or when you've got that high movement going on or something, okay, and just keeping a check on how much I use it a day.
Yeah. I mean,
right?
sometimes it's convenience and stuff like that. So,
These, you got the PPG lasers and stuff. You got blue, green. Apparently, the red is the infrared ones, the healthiest, and some of them only read like in the ring, the Aura ring. It doesn't poll regularly, only at certain times. It goes and grabs information. It's supposed to be the low energy version or something. So that stuff compared to EMF, I mean, let's try and put all this stuff in perspective. What's kind of like a craziness versus no, that is actually dangerous.
Well, at least it brings up something interesting too, and this is coming. That's going to be more popular is the virtual reality type headsets.
Oh, jeez.
They've become more and more popular. So it's right in front of you and through the eyes. So your exposure through the eyes is higher than through here because that's just straight into the brain through there.
And what's it going to do to your sight as well? I mean, all the kids are getting short-sighted, right?
Yeah, I've seen the VR. We had it in Oxford a couple of years back, and the VR system they had there was like the latest, and it was like mind-blowing. You didn't know you were not in VR. That's how good it was. But imagine how many hours kids spend in front of computer games and crap like that. I mean,
right. My kids still way too long.
I was going to say
we've got to do one on that. We've got to do an episode on that.
And we're talking about suicide rate and violent rate going up. Is it related to all this exposure as well?
Right.
Exposure to the stimulation from the computer games as well as the radiation for being exposed to it.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to see what's the average time a kid spends on their phone every day. I can imagine.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yep. Let alone us adults. I mean, the kids are just like born with the stuff. They're exposed at it so much younger than we are, as well as the shit diet that exploded. And, hence some of those reports that are coming out saying that they could be leading shorter lives than us,
I think it's heading that direction unless something's drastically done, and especially with the introduction of 5G. I just don't want to be anywhere with 5G. If I was living somewhere where it was going to have 5G, I'd be moving.
Right.
What's interesting...
I love tech, right?
Yeah.
And it's even the issues of, even if it's clean tech, what that tech can do to you from a behavioral point of view and you're spending too much time with it, let alone the dirty aspect of it. I just want it to be non-dirty.
But what's interesting, though, is look where they're banning 5G.
Oh, Northern Europe, where it probably came from, yeah?
Well, they're banning it in the EU capital, which is what?
Right now? Jesus, where is it? Germany?
No. Well, you kind of. Financial capital isn't it Belgium, right?
Belgium.
Yeah. So they banned it in Belgium.
In fact, I think it's in this article. Go on.
And they banned it in Geneva, Switzerland.
In Geneva.
Interesting places to be banned. I wonder why they're banning it there.
Yeah.
I won't go any further than that in case this video gets censored.
Yes, right.
Did they mention what else? Is there any other places banned in the article? I know those two were two main ones.
Well, apart from the fact they're saying Class 2A or Class 1 carcinogen, scientific criteria, EMFs should be reclassified as Class 2A or 1 carcinogen. See the recent epidemiology update by Dr. Anthony Miller. It's got a link. It's got a bunch of links in this fantastic article. Where are the countries? They are here. Yeah, actually, I will. And
it's only a few places though.
Yeah. The country, Brussels, Belgium.
Brussels is the capital of the EU. Yeah.
Right.
And then Belgium, I knew Belgium was too because I know there's to do with the a certain Bilderberg group.
Right. Switzerland.
Well, only Geneva apparently.
Yeah, Geneva, Switzerland have decided to stop installing. They've stopped installing the 5G towers.
Yeah, I think Zurich will probably still go ahead with it because that's banking central.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can see places that are kind of blocking that construction of or continuation of the. They've really. There's some areas that they won't put them in for some reason. Right. Wonder why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got something else here, Pete, at a cellular level, which would be more your area that's certainly mine too, where it's really interesting. And this is I can see this being cardio related. Obviously, it's close to my heart. EMF, calcium. So what it does is the EMF, I think it gets, normally calcium is a healthy mineral, but too much calcium inside the cell is the equivalent of pouring gas on a fire and triggers a slew of negative health effects.
Yeah, increases that calcium channels in the cell, so you get a
Right.
build up higher calcium build up in the cell,
Right.
and that's kind of that's where we're talking about the cellular damage, and that causes so much effects down the line. From DNA structural damage, the oxidative stress. So you get an oxidative stress there that causes that cancer link there. So
Man.
the cellular depletion, you're looking at 40, 50 different kind of functions down the stream there that will actually be causing other health issues that they may not even relate to your EMF exposure.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I personally, I just try to eliminate as much as possible. And with our new house we're doing, it's
Right.
going to be EMF free.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, not all of us are that fortunate. We have to take other measures to
I mean, yeah,
do it.
okay,
But
you got to spend that much money. I mean, it is,
yeah.
it's in the millions just for the house alone, just for the construction. So,
Well, I mean, you're building a house. I mean, there's a lot of measures
yeah,
you can take just in building a house that aren't,
yeah,
crazy expensive.
that shielding isn't expensive to put in your wiring. So just shield your wiring
Right.
system. You don't have to put Wi-Fi, but just shield
That's
your
it.
wiring system
Just
in your
get it
walls.
shielded.
Yeah.
Yep.
The shielding
Right.
is not that expensive. That was actually, I got extra shielding on it, but the general shielding they can do, you're probably looking at, for a whole house, you're probably looking at in the US maybe an extra $1,000 for the whole house. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one way. But just getting back to the cellular stuff too, I noticed it affects nitric oxide, to then peroxynitrate, and then you've got these two OH and the NO2, whatever molecules coming off that. I don't quite understand it all, but I know that calcium and nitric oxide are sort of like cardiovascular related as well. Like you need nitric oxide for your endothelium, for your pipes.
But basically, it's going to decrease the amount of nitric oxide being produced, and then that will
That's
have
not good.
Then that has a downstream effect within the cell as well. So
Right.
so your peroxynitrate is going to be affected because of the downgrade of the nitric oxide. So it's a downstream effect. So as you affect one thing, it all affects downstream further and further.
Man. Okay. Wow. And I mean, so we're surrounded by this stuff. I think for just trying to help people out here, go and spend the $20-$30, get your EMF reader. You're saying any score more than 1 is not healthy for a prolonged amount of time.
Yeah.
Go and check your daily
they
life.
set it. It's got a setting on here. It says MG or UT. So you want it on MG for the main measurement.
MG.
Yeah, it's kind of like milligauss. So
Milligauss.
microgauss. So that's more
microgauss. Okay.
Yeah. So that's more of a generalized measurement they're using in the industry.
Right.
And then even if you want, get one of these. I'm sure these are available on Wish. So
That'd have to be on Wish. Yeah.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
All right.
EMF
While you're doing
protector.
that. Well, here you go. There's a couple of things here. It says for the next 5 days. Oh, it's a 5-day challenge. 3 simple things with your cell phone. Airplane mode when you carried it on your body. Put your phone on airplane mode at night, or keep outside your bedroom, like you said. Always keep 1 foot's probably good for you anyway. For your just all the digital that comes into your head. Always keep 1 foot distance between you and your cell phone when you use it. Use speakerphone or earbuds, preferably low radiation air tube headset. That's interesting. Haven't heard of that before. If you need to talk on it. Do these things for 5 days. Do you find you sleep more soundly? Do you feel less tired at the end of the day? Do you experience less stress or anxiety? Whoa, that's just after 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty quick if you start doing this. I mean, just looking at this, I found it on Wish, by the way. It's called cell phone blocker anti-radiation shield pouch. So just look up anti-radiation shield pouch, maybe, or cell phone blocker shield pouch. It's actually exactly the same one I got for $5 plus $2 shipping. Okay, so within days you'll notice some of the effects should decrease. Main one I kind of seen with people is the sleep patterns, because I'm dealing with a lot of people with sleep issues. So when I've dealt with them with sleep issues, and we've done like removing all this excessive RF in their bedroom, for example. I mean, you should never have a TV in there anyway as well. So bedroom's got two purposes.
Health.
2 purposes for the bedroom. Okay.
What could they be, Pete?
Sleep is snoring.
And breathing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay.
everything
I
else
get the
should be
third.
everything out of there should be out of there.
Right.
So you
Right.
shouldn't have your
I think
radios.
so too. Sorry, moving right along.
You're getting desperate there, huh? Okay, so
Go on.
there's a strip club not far from where you are, actually.
Oh, thanks, mate. I trust you to know.
Well, yeah, Silicon Valley. Come on.
It is silicon being the operative word.
Yeah, that
So,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, plenty of that. So so getting everything out of your room. It's just not only on the RF or EMF type elimination. It's also stimulation elimination as well. So removing all those things in the bedroom should be important. There should be only really your bed and your clothes in there. That's pretty much it.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I have my mobile phone
You're spending
in there,
a lot of time in there.
but it's
Right.
in that it's in that.
In the pouch.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, you're spending a big chunk of time in there, so make it clean.
Yeah.
It's an easy one to make clean because you're unconscious for most of that time.
I've actually heard of shielding you can get for pillows that helps reduce it too.
Why is it good in your pillow?
Well, it reduces the amount coming up
head.
from the ground. Yeah, your head's on it, so it gives you some protection on
A
it.
bit of a shield.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interestingly, I've been testing out my Cocoon new headphones that help me sleep better. Well, they're radiating my brain, I guess, with Bluetooth.
Are they Bluetooth? Are they Bluetooth?
Yes.
They're kind of counterproductive.
Yeah. Net effect. Yeah, I think net effect might be negative. I don't know. Is it more deep sleep or a bit of exposure to some EMF? On planes, it's handy. I think if you're flying, because you're getting radiated anyway on planes.
Yep.
I think it's really handy to have. Sleeping in bed at night.
Well, that frequency, the humming of the plane sometimes depends on the plane you're on. All different planes are humming at different frequencies, and some of those frequencies can be quite disruptive for you. So where you can get something that can shield that noise is a pollution as well. So often, you can, if I'm flying on like the A380, for example, not a problem. I don't feel that.
You're doing it cheap, Pete.
What?
Doing it cheap. Flying on the A380, eh? In first class, I imagine. At least.
No, cattle class is like
cattle
this.
Class.
But in that plane, it doesn't seem as much, and that's maybe the way it was built. But you see there was a Boeing plane I was on, and you could really hear that frequency. On the private, you don't hear that. That's different audio on the private, but that's a smaller plane too, so you don't have that same effect, that same frequency. But I believe it has a lot to do with the wing vibrations as well and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot.
It's not a healthy environment for those that fly
in general. Yeah.
Like I used to. No. It's just not healthy. All right. Look, there's more stuff we could go into it, but I think we've.
By the way,
bells.
the new planes are shielded too. A lot of the new ones. I know the private jets are too, but they're shielding them a lot too from the radiation.
Is it the UV? Is it the UV that's coming in, or what is it? It's like
it's actual radiation from
cosmic sort of radiation or something.
Yeah, you're closer to that. You're closer. You're 32,000 feet up.
Feet up. Yeah. As something flies overhead. Look, I mean, one thing here is too, this guy, what's his name? Nick Pignol or something, says that, but in the meantime, do not get sidetracked or let it overwhelm or paralyze you. Taking baby steps is the key to success. I mean, let's not go crazy on it, but there are things you can do, and hopefully we've given you some ideas here.
Don't upgrade to 5G.
Don't upgrade to 5G,
because the thing is, the phone itself is going to be transmitting that power output. So you're having that transmitter next to your head or even close to you.
Oh, yeah?
It's got to go both ways, remember?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. You got to upload and download. It's scary. Once again, I love tech, but not when it's going to affect life in this way. So people, make your own choice on this.
Look up Li-Fi as well.
Li-Fi, yeah, and if you can afford it. And sorry, we've had a lot of engagement from Roy and from Elisa here. Sorry, guys. This is we're on a bit of a tight time frame for Peter and
they don't all show up on mine too.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, they keep disappearing. Yeah. They keep kind of going behind if I don't touch the screen.
Ah, right. Okay. Interesting. Oh, earthing mats and sheets too. Helps to ground you and protect you as well.
Yep.
God, we're having to shield ourselves. We can't shield ourselves. We're having to shield ourselves from just a lot of the stuff that affects us today, right?
If you can, people, move out in the country.
Isn't that it? Get out of the cities.
Yeah.
The cities are dirty.
That's why they're trying to push you into the cities, so get out. It's cheap enough. I mean, you can kind of change your lifestyle depending on what you're doing for a living, but a lot of stuff you can do online now too, and other options. So there's options there. So if you can, the ideal way is get out. And also, you probably find the property prices generally. I mean, not around here, but in general,
cheaper.
Property prices are much cheaper for what you say your place in the city. You could buy 200 acres out in the woodlands somewhere.
Well, even around some of the areas, not exactly where you are, but a little further out. You've still got some beautiful open. I mean, New Zealand's just cleanest city in the world, I think, as far as I know. Anyway, from what I hear from you, while you're there, whoops.
Not necessarily, but pretty clean. Well,
pretty clean.
Yeah.
What's the cleanest? What's the cleanest, Pete? Do you know? Where would it be, do you think? Antarctic? No, lots of UV up there.
Well, the UV's not bad. They're being demonised. Country-wise, developed country. I mean, New Zealand's probably in there. I can't say Switzerland, surprisingly, because of what it's surrounded by, not because of Switzerland itself, but because of what it's surrounded by. I mean, Switzerland's very clean as well.
All its neighbours.
Yeah, I mean, you are protected by all the Alps there, so that may be a fact that reduces it quite considerably. But cleanest country, there isn't much left on the planet now. I mean,
no, there isn't. There isn't. Right? New Zealand's got to be up there, right up there.
Stewart Island.
Which one?
Stewart Island, which is New Zealand, but it's the third island in New Zealand, the bottom island in New Zealand.
Let's go and move in there, Pete.
Yeah, and land's cheap there.
Oh, but done deal.
But you have to be a New Zealand-born citizen to buy land there.
Yeah, can't be an Aussie. I thought Aussies could buy in New Zealand.
Not Stewart Island, I don't believe. Stewart Island's protected.
Damn. Mm-hmm. All right, you'd have to set up a fund or something, Pete.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. All right, mate. This has been awesome. It's, a very interesting topic, very topical topic, and one that people need to be across to make the right decision for them. Just
be aware of it and do your homework.
Being aware of it and do your homework, and then make your own personal decision on what risks you want to take in life. Right, so it's your business, but be aware.
If you've got kids, be even more aware.
Oh yeah, very true.
My child is not exposed.
Yeah, well, she is in a Faraday cage of life.
Yeah,
I think when she the upbringing's up to you. Then what she does, I guess, then that's up to her after that. But at least we had a great start. So thanks again, Pete, for all that. I think it'd be great for us to do something on gaming. I reckon the effects that's having on our children would be awesome. I think.
I've got an interesting thing I'll talk to you about off air with that, and then we can see where we can go with that.
I'd like to, just even for selfish personal reasons, my own little guy, Arky, because he loves it, and it's like just trying to get the kids off crack, and he's not with me all the time. Yeah. Even though when he's with me, I feel guilty of the fact that he's still probably spending too much time on them. So that's that's on me.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah, thanks. All right. So well, when you've got two sets of rules, it gets a bit tough. There's
only one set of rules per house, though.
Per house. When you come here, this is the deal. Yeah, right. Hey, Arky, you haven't been here for a year. What's going on? Mate, thanks again.
Okay.
And remember to enjoy life right here, right now.
Today.
When, Pete? Today. See you in the next one, guys. See you next time, Pete.
See ya.
Bye.